Hello everyone, what is going on, and welcome back to the Minebuster Gaming YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and of course, if you want to see more content like this, leave a like, leave a comment, letting me know your thoughts on the teams and the rosters, right? So here we go, let's get into the next roster for today. So the next roster that I'm going to be talking about for today is going to be Team Liquid. Now, this is another roster that was already very early kind of rumored, speculated, and has been since confirmed. So let's go ahead and start out with the top lane. It is going to be Alphari. So they have confirmed that Alphari is going to be coming to Team Liquid. Alphari has been playing very well in EU. I feel like this is a really big pickup for them. In terms of Impact versus Alphari, I do believe that Alphari should be better than Impact. We'll have to see how that plays out. But I do think Alphari is much more versatile than Impact was in the top lane. And so that's going to be really interesting to see how he fits in with the new roster. So let's move on then and let's talk about the jungle. My personal opinion, best jungler in NA by far. I've always mentioned that he was the best jungler. If you can go back and look at my Twitter back from the playoff days in the summer split, or even before that actually, I've been calling Santorin the best jungler in NA. And that still stands, as there hasn't been that many big changes to the jungle meta, or players in the jungle for NA. And as such, I still think that Santorin can very well be the number one jungler. He plays to the team. He is very, very good at being able to move around the map and get his laners ahead, and I think that's going to be really important. Having a jungler that's really devoted to the team is going to change a lot of things. I believe Team Liquid already had a very similar style of jungler in Broxa in the last season. However, I don't think Broxa was as effective at doing his job as Santorin was last season. So this is literally just a straight-up upgrade with the same style of player, which is probably the best thing that could have possibly happened for Team Liquid in the jungle position. So let's move on then, and let's talk about mid lane. We have another one of the best mid laners in NA. Once again, the Power of Evil Jensen perks train continues. Once again, until the season starts and until we see what kind of form these guys are in, I'm not going to be able to give you who's actually better than the other quite yet. That's kind of like the interesting thing about NA right now, is we're not sure who the best mid laner is, but we know that the top three are way above the rest of them. But with that being said, this is one of those top three mid laners, potentially the best mid laner in NA now since Bjergsen's gone. I still think that Power of Evil is probably going to be better than Jensen this year, but we'll see how this goes. Jensen has shown that he is quite capable of playing the mid lane at a very high level. So there's no reason to doubt him. So very, very good mid laner, very, very good jungler, very solid top laner. And now we move on to the AD carry position. We have Tactical. Now, Tactical and Core JJ, his support, this has proven to be a very, very good bot lane duo. We even saw Tactical and Core JJ holding it down at Worlds in a few of those games, and it just leads me to believe that this bot lane, I would already put them in the top three of bot lanes in NA. And so if you look at that, right, we got top three mid laners, top three junglers, top three bot lane, and potentially top three in the top lane as well. I'm not sure if he's going to be top three in the top lane, but honestly, the top lane is not as... how do you say it? So the top lane is actually not as top heavy in terms of the player rankings as the other positions are. So I really do feel like this team is by far the strongest team that you could build all around. So you already have the bot lane synergy between Tactical and Core JJ coming in from last year. You also have the synergy between Jensen, Tactical, and Core JJ all together, just because they played together last year, or the last split, I should say. And Santorin being a very similar style of jungler as Broxa was, I feel like it's not going to take these guys too long to get used to the style of play that Santorin has. The one big kind of difference for the team in terms of synergy is going to be Alphari. It's going to be interesting to see how he slots in with this team, but I feel like the playstyle that he has and the champion pool that he has, he will be able to fit in with this team very, very well. And the other thing that is probably going to propel this team to be number one this season is their coach, Jat. Now, having Jat as a coach has proven to be very, very beneficial for Team Liquid. Jat has shown that he can draft properly. I've seen him do quite a few things very, very well in the last split, And the way that I see it is Jat is most likely one of the best coaches in NA right now. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how Bjergsen and Golden Glue and those Rainover and those guys are going to be able to progress as coaches. But as far as coaching in NA is concerned, I see Jat as being in the top 3 of coaches as well. So if you look at it, their team all around is just top 3 in almost every single position, including coaching. And that automatically tells me that Team Liquid is vying for that number 1 spot. There's nothing to be said here about how good these players actually are. If you at all have watched LCS over the past couple of months, years even, if you watched it for like the last year even, you would know how good these players are. I know a lot of people don't know how good Alfari is, but trust me, Alfari is good enough to hold his ground. LEC was actually pretty heavy in the top lane. They have quite a few good top lane players in the LEC, and Alfari was able to hold his ground against them. So for sure, in NA, he'll be able to hold his ground as well. Now, with that being said, this is, in my opinion, the number 1 team. Just based on purely the players that I know and how well they can play. A lot of these players are known quantities. They're known factors. They're known how good they are. So just based on what I know about them, I can for sure tell you this is the number 1 team as of right now. Now, with that being said, the only other team that could take the number 1 spot is Cloud9, but it's going to be really interesting to see how those players pan out, right? So if Perks is actually the number 1 mid laner coming in, and he can actually get right back to full form as he was back on Fnatic and G2 at mid lane, then honestly this could be very, very competitive for the first place spot. However, if that's not the case, then I don't know how well that's going to go. Cloud9 has an unproven top laner in Fudge, so if Fudge is able to adapt really well to the LCS level of play, then yeah, also this could be very, very competitive. But you got Core JJ and Tactical over here. Meanwhile, you have Sven, Vulcan on the other side. Very, very good bot lanes all around, but I think I give the personal edge to Tactical Core JJ just based on what I've seen over the last split. So overall, I actually do prefer the team of Team Liquid over Cloud9. So I do think this is going to be the number 1 roster going into next year. Either way, even if Team Liquid or Cloud9 are not number 1 or whatever the case might be, they're both extremely good rosters. Those are both solid rosters, and I feel like these are Worlds level rosters actually. So having Alfari and Santorin, who actually was able to hold his own against Worlds level junglers, Jensen showed that he can actually play at the level up to mid lane. Tactical Core JJ proved that they can play up to that level at Worlds. And honestly, the way that I see this is the team that we want to be sending to Worlds as NA. Same thing with Cloud9, right? We need to make sure Cloud9 and Team Liquid are the ones at Worlds. I'm sure, well, I mean, that's their job, not our job, but you get the idea. If those are the teams that go to Worlds, I feel like we have 2 really, really solid teams going to Worlds, and I feel like this might be the year that we can get out of quarters. Of course, that depends on how well they're actually playing, right? So we have to actually take a look at LCK, LPL, LEC, and see the level that they're playing at. LEC just beefed up on G2 like crazy with that Perks move, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this entire season plays out. But yeah, with that being said, that is all from me for today. I will be making more videos on the other teams, kind of like the more bottom-heavy teams like the Immortals team and the Golden Guardians team, just the teams like that. So I'm going to talk about their rosters afterwards. I'm also going to be doing an entire list / breakdown of the Academy rosters because those are slowly being announced now and they're being put out into circulation. So once we find out the Academy rosters, I can actually talk more about Academy and how that's going to look this season. This season, Academy is actually going to be looking a little bit more interesting as well, just because of the level of players that we're getting now in Academy. We're not seeing as many old LCS pros in Academy now, so that's going to be very interesting then. And like I said, I'm going to be making my YouTube channel into an LCS / Academy channel. So you're going to see a lot of amateur league videos / analyses videos in this YouTube channel as well. So please make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can see every time I upload these videos. Anyways, that's that. I will see you all later. Peace.